Parliamentary inquiry. At what time did the previous vote on the Sanders Amendment begin?
The vote began at 11:03 a.m.
How much total time elapsed during the floor vote on the Senator's amendment?
11 hours and 50 minutes.
Well, my goodness, it's been quite a start to this fast-track process. They were in a big hurry. We started voting on the First Amendment. Parliamentarians said right after 11 a.m., Democratic leader held the vote open all day so they could try to figure out what was going on with their own legislation that they want to pass only with their votes. Now, the last time we had a long string of amendment votes, just a couple of weeks ago, we considered about 40 amendments. So if you multiply 11 hours of scrambling times 40 amendments, you'd land at about 440 hours. That's about 18 days with 0 breaks. So look, the whole idea behind this, I gather from listening to them over the last few weeks, was to use the crisis to jam through what the White House Chief of Staff called the most progressive domestic legislation in a generation. A little tougher than they thought it was going to be, isn't it? Turned out to be a little bit tougher. Well, what this proves is there are benefits to bipartisanship when you're dealing with an issue of this magnitude. We all remember that we did this 5 times last year. We did it together. I think there were no more than 8 votes against any of these proposals. We spent about $4 trillion on pandemic relief. Everyone passed, as I said, with 90 or more votes. Not a single spectacle like today, not one. Exactly 1 year ago, instead of partisan scrambling, we were humming with bipartisan work, working on it together. We had bipartisan task force, building the CARES Act from the bottom up. We passed the bill 96-0. We were prepared to do yet another bill on a bipartisan basis. Several of our members went down to the White House, sat down with the president, laid out a proposal we thought made sense given where we were now, but no, they wanted to do it the hard way. So now they want to begin the vote-a-rama that could have been done in daylight because of their own confusion and the challenges of getting together 50 people to agree on something when they could have been doing it quicker on a bipartisan basis. The Senate has never spent $2 trillion in a more haphazard way or through a less rigorous process. Voters gave Senate Democrats the slimmest possible majority. Voters picked a president who promised unity and bipartisanship. Democrats' response is to ram through what they call, quote, the most progressive domestic legislation in a generation on a razor-thin majority in both houses. The right path was obvious. We followed it 5 times last year. 5 rescue packages totaling $4 trillion, and none of them got fewer than 90 votes. The Senate wrote the CARES Act, Republicans and Democrats shoulder to shoulder. That was the road to real pandemic relief, but Democrats actually wanted, Mr. President, something else. They explained their intent very clearly, to exploit this crisis, quote, as a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision. That's how you get this massive bill with only 1% for vaccinations. That ignores the science on reopening schools that's stuffed with non-COVID related spending that even top liberal economists say is wrong for the recovery. Democrats inherited a tide that is already turning. 2021 is already set to be our comeback year because of the American people's resilience and the bipartisan foundation that we laid last year. We could have worked together to speed up victory, but our Democratic colleagues made a decision. Their top priority wasn't pandemic relief, it was their Washington wish list. So, Mr. President and colleagues, I strongly recommend a no vote.